Hey, today I'm doing a Audi A4 fan replacement and the fan module replacement as well. These are the replacement parts I bought online. I think it's on Amazon. They're fairly cheap if you buy it online. I already have jacked the car up. I am stuck on a stage where I've already removed. Let me show you guys real quick. So there's a bolt here, there's two bolts here, and there's a couple screws here, two screws here, and then two more bolts here, and the entire fan becomes loose. Once it's loose, right now I'm trying to figure out a way how to take it out from the car. Right now it's being stuck, and well, I forgot to tell you guys the reason that I am replacing the fan was because initially the car's transmission started jerking from, well, at a complete stop, and then you press the gas, it will start jerking. I took it to multiple Audi dealerships. They keep telling me it's motor mounts. So I replaced both motor mounts. However, unfortunately, motor mount was not the issue. I think it's caused by the fan not working, and it's not unable to cool, because there's a sensor in there that cools your transmission as well. So if your transmission is not being cooled, it will cause some error in shifting. I guess these cars are sensitive. I'm just making I don't know, I guess, like an educated guess. I guess you guys can laugh at me if you want, but because I replaced everything, I tried. Both motor mounts have replaced. They're okay shape. There's a little crack that has been. Also, I went into here and replaced this as well. I think this goes with it's a brake sensor. It detects whether you have pressed the brake, so you can release the clutch. I guess sometimes there's faulty on that, so I replaced this, but it did not solve the issue on car jerking from a stop and go. So for example, if I was shifting the car, let's say if I was complete stop, I pressed the brake, and then I let go, I press. It doesn't engage. The transmission does not engage right away. So I press a little gas, and it all of a sudden, as soon as you press gas, car senses, hey, someone is pressing on the gas, let's engage the transmission. At that instant, while you're gassing, it engages, so you have that jerk motion right in the beginning. And also, if you're just shifting from neutral or just park to drive, it'll do the exact same thing. It doesn't engage right away. However, it's kind of weird that when you go from neutral to reverse or park to reverse, it just engages right away. It just, from driving, it has issues. Some people on the forums, they say that it might be an issue with the transmission. However, I don't think that is necessarily the issue, because one, it's really expensive. If that thing kind of happens, I think you just have to replace your entire transmission, which will just cost you a lot of money. But I took the car for a drive. Other than just that first gear shifting from neutral to drive, that very first gear, 0 to drive or park to drive, that's the only time it jerks. Every other time when you accelerate after it's getting on the road, shifting and everything is very smooth. So I kind of eliminate the transmission issue. So that's why I went with the sensors. So yeah, I've taken everything out. This is the old module that has been taken apart. All the bolts are off. I've taken the auto locks, the hood locks off as well, because it's attached with a wiring. I'm trying to see what I need to do about that brown wire. That's why I just took the entire thing off, because the whole attachment is attached all the way down. It might be easier if you can take those clips off one at a time. It might just be tedious. Those clips that runs through all the way down. Yeah, that one right there, and then You can just follow the line. You can follow the line, and there's another tab down there. I've taken one off. So this is what that tabs look like that keeps the wires in. And oops, I shouldn't throw that over there. So I took this entire thing off, so I figure I can pull this thing up. But right now, on both sides, it's kind of being stuck. This side won't come up because the spacing issues, as you can see. And then this is stuck with the coolant hose. There's a little thing right there. If I pull on it, you'll see it's getting stuck right under the coolant hose, and it won't get up. So I'm trying to figure out what I need to do. I really don't want to take off the entire bumper, because if I take out the bumper off, it might be easier, but I still need to get through the radiator, which that's something I don't even want to bolt off of. I just want to see if I can pull this fan off without doing anything else. So I decided to take off the bumper off the Audi so I can get easy access to the fan. And as you can see, you guys can find it online easily to learn how to take off the bumper. It wasn't too hard of a job, it's just tedious with a bunch of screws and stuff. But one thing I've noticed is these are coolers on the side. They're very dirty over time. You get stuffed with a lot of leaves. So I'll clean out this one. I can show you the one that did not get cleaned out. So it's a lot of junk in there, and that produces heat. Not produces heat, but it kind of limits how much your heat exchanger can do. This might be an oil cooler, I'm not too sure. So if you have you try to run your car at high temp, this is definitely one of the things that you want to clean out because it's disgusting. All right, finally was able to wiggle that fan over, so I need to start switching all the parts over to the new fan and start putting everything back together. So what I ended up doing was pretty much remove the entire front, the condenser, the radiator out of the way. Had to do the inevitable, which disconnect the bottom. I think that's the oil cooling part, and then this part is the coolant part on the top, so I can at least get some wiggle room over here. I wasn't able to get it through this location. I was still I got it through here. I think if you guys are able to find a better way, I don't have a tool to remove the headlights because it's pretty deep down there. That the bolt in there is, I think it's this type of bolt, but it's really deep down. I don't have a tool to do that, so I did what I could and just wiggle, or what I could just kind of pull this back a little bit. Just be careful, don't break it. This is still plastic, and I was able to get that fan out. Will probably be pretty interesting getting the new fan back in. Just make sure you have a catch pan or something under it. So I wasn't aware of it at first, so it's my mistake, so you guys can learn from a mistake. Don't leak all this stuff all over the place. It's hard for you to clean up afterwards. It's more work for you to do. So this is the connector that I had to disconnect on top, and over time these can be really hard to pull. So first you remove one of these these little clips that goes right on top of it. Well, actually it's on the plug over here. The plug over here. Yep, plug over here. So you take that out and then just kind of wiggle it, but be gentle with it because it's all plastic. If you go too hard, you might crack either this or that, and that's a big no-no, so more money for you to spend on. It was painful to just all this work just to remove a simple fan. I don't like it. I remove radiators and fans before on a Honda. It's so much easier. These are way more complicated than it is. There's so many bolts and stuff to put on. I think they design it where you can just take the top part off, probably easier, because I can see this thing is movable. So somehow you need to remove the lights, remove your headlights and remove this piece maybe. From looking at it, I don't really think it's that easy to remove this. So you might have to take off, you know, the support, the crash beam support and all that, and see where it can go from there. Because at this point, I really don't see what it is. I think it's bolted on this. So, yeah, so this is something that you gotta take a look at. Hopefully I can transfer everything now, put everything back together, and eventually solve all this issue that this car has. And then I had to bleed out the system, put more oil back. So now I just have to transfer everything back in, find a way to ease that in to this little tiny space again, and set it in place. Hopefully get everything back on, bleed the system on the coolant, fill a little oil maybe. I'm not sure, that might be the transmission fluid, so I need to find out how to fill the transmission stuff. You know, you guys can comment on that once I'm done with it. Yeah, that's about it. So I'll put it back all together and then I'll let you guys know. Alright, this is wire. It's for the hood. It's for the hood release, I guess. As you can see inside, there's a lot of frayed wires. These plastic or rubber covers, over time they kind of just get really brittle because of the heat. So what I'm doing right now is going over it again with electrical tape and just tape it all over, so to avoid any future contact, avoiding the contact between the two wires. So